Okay, everybody, let's get right to it. It is a great Tuesday, despite today's title. We'll fix that in a minute, but it should be 285. We're going to talk about the halving and the harmonic patterns that are taking shape as we approach. What's going on? Great to see everyone. Settling in. Yeah, let's jump over it really quick. Bitcoin, crypto. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I do want to look at the big news of Bitcoin hitting 50,000. Not that much of a reaction up there. Not a heck of a lot of noise. You would think people were having a big party. But we'll get into that. Coming off a little bit, but nothing, really not a big deal. Is anyone surprised here? Hold on. That's what we needed to do. There you go. Great, thanks. Great to see everybody in the chat. Again, a little late today with a couple of glitches, but great to see everyone back. Rogelio, what's up, Vegas? I got to contact you. Sorry, I haven't been too responsive on the Discord. I'll get to you. Ivan, Scuba Steve, yo. Rogelio, Bud, Miss Stephanie, R. Lake. Vlad, welcome back. Storm's over. What's up? A couple of you have been away. Eddie, what's going on, man? Brain freeze. You guys want to see some things? Put some of your favorite coins, crypto, stocks, markets. Let's look at them. What's up, J-Tox? Great to see everybody. Getting started here. I'm second cup of coffee kicking in. NASDAQ was down 350, but it's nothing. It's just it's a gift. As is any pullback on Bitcoin or crypto at this point. How about that chart? I mean, that's just a take off the patterns, weekly Bitcoin chart. How about if you were here a year ago and knew Bitcoin would be at 50,000, I think everyone would have been feeling a lot better. Amazingly, we were here a year ago, right around 25. 2022. Now hitting 50 last night, yesterday. So great, really great progress, and kind of the thing you want to see at this point for Bitcoin. Let's just admire the monthly chart for a moment. Okay, and how nice that is. Really no reason on the monthly chart, especially with candles like that stacked 5 months in a row up. There's the 618 all time, 48, 40, 48.5, 49. And the only thing you really care about is the 886 at about 63, 64,000. So I really, structurally, you think about what happened at that 618. It was a pause reaction, really nice. We wanted to see 36K. We got to 38, high 38s. There it was. But in the long-term scheme of things, especially with 2 weeks left, get through February, it will be an extremely important close. The only thing you really need to worry about, and I don't think there's anything to worry about, let's just say time-wise, if you want to see this thing now, you close above 48.6. So come 2 weeks, if we're closing above 48.6, 48.9, 50 would even be better, then we're just going to straight shot to 886, and this continues, which it's not a crazy call, not a crazy measurement to be thinking about, because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 months green lights with nothing really popping, nothing really there. So and we know the deal. It's just at that point, You're looking at 886 as targets, and then all-time 1618. And that's it. That's all. That's it. So what's the big deal? I mean, really, how do we get there? It's just time. It really is just time. This is where that whole aspect of patience and discipline as traders, yeah, this is what you're getting paid for. We said it all along. We said it all last year that it was a fall setup to play through the entire year, if not 15 month cycle. But now it's the real deal. Rubber hitting the road. We've got to get from point A to point B by dealing with bumps in the road. But that's all they are. I mean, this is a friendly chart. It feels like a lot worse, but that's a really nice chart. And if you're looking for cycle move, cycle recovery kind of a thing, let me get an all-time chart there. If we're making assumptions, okay, this cycle just going to continue the long-term trend, then that's our assessment. I think, we'll see what the close is in 2 weeks, but we know also what the deal is, that the predominant gains come after the halving. So if the halving is soon, next 4 to 6 weeks, we should see a bump, maybe another little pause at the 886. I don't know if we would get an all-time 382 pullback retracement. I mentioned this, I think, last week, and again, with what we've seen here in the last 2 weeks, we had a reaction off the 618. Okay, we go into the new month, and look at that candle on the new month. I mean, you didn't even spend really a day probing the lower end of that range. All of that's important. I mean, just almost obvious, but this little gyration of an open on the month for the monthly candle and then give you almost a perfect straight off breakout move to continue this, that tells me this really is begging for the 886 sooner than later. And so is that March or April? Yeah, I think it could be April. I really think this 63 handle, 60 handle in general, you see that. If not at the halving, shortly thereafter. So far so good. And this is also kind of reinforces the whole notion that what happens at the big number within a bar or two is critical in every instance. It's just there's your monster 618. The all-time 382 was like 36,200. And what did we get to? And that just was a big shakeout like today. Got to 38.8. So we already see that it's tipping its hand to where it wants to go now. So we just start to think this structurally. 886. It's definitely 63, 64. On this segment, this move, and this is the important part of it, okay? Understand that for the larger assumption that's going to a 1618, you want to see that. You want to see a strong singular move, no 382 retracement out of there. What happens at that 886, that's another story. Could pause there, but it is on track. Certainly on track. The other thought, the only other harmonic possibility with this larger move is that you're looking at kind of 3 massive waves, A to B, and that cycle, it goes up to 4 410, 415. Let's just do the 3618 cycle. You know, let's just assume since that last one and even the prior cycle, that was definitely a 3618. But they all come down to about 70% roughly if we go absolute high there. And then project another 3618. Just possible harmonic levels. That's all I'm doing here. Possible harmonic levels. But if the reason why I'm saying this and focusing so much time on this, just this little gyration from the last, oh, come on back. All right, that's what is it? It's 202,000, 204,000, something like that. I just want you guys to consider the possibility. 205. That would be the 3618. Okay, now check it out. It matters. It matters because of structurally, if we were to get a B point right here at 48,000, then we would have a type of formation that would be more of just a normal crab. We want a deep crab here. We do want to see, you know, an 886 take shape up here so that it can do that larger possibility. But it all depends on the 618 action, where you are right now. And after 2 weeks, this little move is incredibly significant. Like 50,000, I don't care. Tell me about what happens at the 618 all time, you know, roughly 48.5. So that is absolutely the takeaway on the next 10 days, not even. Maybe we go I don't even think we'll have to go into March to know how this will turn out. And it's now. It's not, hey, we're going to wait on this for 6 months. No. I mean, we're down from months to weeks, weeks to days, and I think literally it'll be hours. And so you make a jump on BTC 48 to 63, 64 in 6 weeks. Hit that metric, do a little pause or something there, and then do the larger moon move. If not, if it's just a blow through move, again, we'll know that soon, and you will see this thing just destroy the 60,000 level. The 60 to 70K will just end up being a big fat candle. That's how important the last, I would say, week for sure, but that last month's candle and then how we're responding to it, this being an all-time monthly 618, and I'll come back to this video months from now and we'll say, look, that's the spot. You know, this 618 is going to really tell us now if it's going to go immediately or try to give you some kind of B point a little bit higher. I don't think so. I think we would have done it there, going down, and then, you know, maybe not as crazy of targets where, you know, we've said all along 1618 of that all-time weekly move is at 102, something like that. Certainly a 6-digit figure. So that's just lining up. Okay, nice W formation, but there's no B point here, and it's just sailing through B point possibilities. One moment. All right, thanks. So that's a big deal, and that's something we should consider every session going forward. Check out Ethereum, and Ethereum is on track doing exactly what we said it would do, where we got some high level daily signals just 10 days ago. Remember this? And said, okay, wants to go back, retest that 2600 level, right on it. Right on it. I mean, right on target. The obvious kind of thing for now would be make a run at that prior HSI and blast through it. Doesn't need to, but it's acting really in ideal fashion. I'm trying to find that. Where's the crab pattern? There it is. So we're back up at this crab pattern. What have we seen, especially with failed patterns? A couple things. One, they take a lot of time. So here's this daily crab pattern, and that was 23.75 with confirmation. We almost tagged T1 perfectly, but this is more sideways grind behavior. And then a week or 2 weeks ago, when we spotted this, we said, okay, this thing is losing its mojo. At a minimum, with a counter HSI signal, we go up to 26.18. Sorry, before I go any further, I do need to kind of mention to new folks, go over to harmonictrader.com to get a free 2-week trial to the software. Register right on the front page of harmonictrader.com, and then go to the basic members page here for all the resources. I had a few new people, few new inquiries. So send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com to get 2-week free trial access. Yes, you can get free trial to all of those. A lot of people ask me, what's the best program or platform for crypto of these 4? I'm going to say MetaTrader. So check that out. And then, of course, all the other resources. Okay, all available there on the basic members page. Great. So, all right, so we're back at the hop level for Ethereum, and maybe we pause a little bit more, but I think it's ready. Take a look at what's going on with we're overbought, trying to roll over on the daily. Maybe we'd get another HSI signal, but a lot of things here that just point to the longer it takes, the better for the bulls. You know, if we get stretched out, let's say 30 days from now, we don't retrace anything on this secondary test of the hop, you know, that puts you essentially mid-March, right before the halving, where even if this still faces resistance, it's just a matter of time. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, where that completely runs out. And I think it's running out now. That's what we've been saying. And this is, remember, this is the first HSI signal, bullish continuation since October. So I don't think this has really played out fully for this next leg. Just stay with it. Yeah, look, it's you go to the weekly time frame for Ethereum, weekly or monthly even, and it still has a ways to go before it's 618. You know, 382 is like 2,500, pretty easy to remember. The 618 level, if it was on par with Bitcoin, it would be at 3,300. And I think that's where we go, probably, you know, at the halving, the next 2 months, you do a push. A nice, you know, 20% push, get to that, clip that 618 level. That's, like I said, 3,350, 3,400. So that's, I don't think that's a big deal, but that's where we're headed on the daily. Again, remember, coming back. A couple more that are fairly impressive. I mean, Cardano is one that did the same kind of a thing with some counter trend HSI signals, where 48 cents got to as low as 44. That's where our last bullish dot was. But this thing looks like it wants to try to make another push up. Structurally, for Cardano T2, the official retest at 61.3 cents, did hit, and that's totally legit, but no confirmation. So if we push again to this low 60, 61.5, 64 cents, don't be surprised. So just, let that take its time, play out. It's going to get there. A couple others, big ones. Yeah, remember Avalanche? So crab pattern right off the top. That hit target too. And this has got a couple of big patterns behind it. We'll go left here. This actually gives you better perspective. I mean, massive bat pattern. I'm still looking for 63.90 on Avalanche. Can we just do a type 1 blowout off of that crab pattern? Or we got to come all the way back? We'll know soon. I mean, we hit it today, 41.30 exactly. That HSI is not official until the close tonight, but again, we're looking at a lot of things that have made progress, and now we're going to see if they're the real deal or not. We outlined even a few. It was that one in the A's. Here's the other one, Axie Infinity. Remember that 675, 665 area? It kind of kissed that bat on a type 2. Okay, and remember, weekly time frame is like this. Where's the, give me a better, that's a little better. Bybit. So, looking for some price recovery. Get off of that low around 7, and get back above 10. But there's been some interesting patterns there. A few others that we mentioned last week, even. Come on. Remember these obscure ones I started? I think some of you guys were rolling your eyes, but we had a lot of these daily shark patterns and crab patterns that formed off of the January correction. Here's Coty and Cartesi kind of moving down in alphabetical order today, but and Cartesi was another one where maybe that was a 4-hour, but definitely catching a bid. And Cartesi's like that, so kind of reminds me of. I would keep my eye on that because structurally that's about to take it out. But that's a good one. I mean, really, that progress, definitely. I'm liking that. They're kind of like waking up here. Then the other one was, was the graph, I think. What's going on? Come on. Yeah. So this other shark pattern. So my point, and when I was bringing this up 2 weeks ago, is that there's still patterns. There's fresh, valid patterns that we really should be looking for. I know things were mooning then, and then we had this correction and got these kind of patterns. So that's what we should continue to look for. The other thing was, remember, looking for the daily oversold signals like this, an immutable X with 4-hour patterns. Well, immutable X is playing out. There you go. And that should still be kind of the recipe that we want to look for. Beautiful type 2 bat pattern on Immutable X. And this has got, real potential. Even if there's a bat kicking off, but that hop level, T2 up here, 320, possible, very much. It was that one, and then the other one was, I think it was Caspa. KAS. Yeah, it was on the daily. Yeah, there's the oversold trigger. 4-hour time frame looked like this. I think it was a bat. Back to back, or that was a crab. Point being, there's still opportunities in this market. Here's Kusama. Just kind of remember us looking at a lot of a couple in this area. Oversold daily HSIs, yellow dots. So if this is an important continuation, I'm just kind of flying across the board today on these crypto. But if that is it, so this really should be the next leg. We should look for stuff like, we should be looking for that next move type of a thing. Another one was H-bar. The daily shark. Yep, there you go. So a whole bunch of stuff. These coming together after the January correction, and you're seeing progress. Definitely seeing progress. All right, for you guys that are just absolutely roiling in pain here, check out XRP. I know. The most disappointing macro crypto for now. But the story doesn't change. It's just time. It's just getting from, like I said when I started today, A to B. And that's why you're doing what you're doing. You're going to have to get through. Sometimes a lot of times it's not a straight shot. This is another one. But this and the portfolio that I put together for our group back in December, that's always been a 15-month time horizon. Same here. And XRP is one of the top holdings in that portfolio. So stick with it. But a couple others that are, T-coin style, but progressing. Here's Curve. Remember that? Curve around 45, 44 cents. It hit 52. But look, it's beautiful pattern dynamics, back to back. Little bat, couple of oversold triggers. So, just starting. This is the kind of thing where, hey, when you go back and say, where were the opportunities? I missed October. Well, here it is, February. More patterns like that. Couple more. Let me get over to stocks. I noticed that some of those AI stocks, like Fetch AI, we haven't talked about that in a little while, starting to come back. Where is it? Here you go. That's another one. Daily got oversold down there at 52, now 67. But much like Immutable X and Injective and a couple others, you're looking for this thing to continue off of that signal. So it's down 51, 52, and what we're looking for now is this thing to bust through that resistance at 75 to 80 to go back and challenge the 886. That 886 for Fetch is like $1 minimum. It was that one, and then The other one was AIOZ or AGIX. I think it was AGIX. Yeah, AGIX with that was actually deeply oversold down here, right at 25 cents, now 30, but clearly on its way back to retest that 35. There's your daily oversold trigger. And it's a Gartley. It's a big Gartley. So we're looking for this on this retest, more, not just 35. I think it's 35, closer to 40 on this move. But they've definitely turned. They put in a bottom 2 weeks ago where now you're starting to pop out. You get this kind of a thing going on with this. You get a little BAM breakout. So this was literally, I think, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was literally yesterday where we hit the B point there, come back down, and now go up to an 886, something like that. But you're breaking out of that B at 30. Let's check it out. Oh, the other one that was a daily was Algo. Again, patterns off of after they did the first run, coming on back. I think this was certainly daily with some 4-hour. I think it was like 16 bucks. There you go. It was a crab. And this hasn't fully moved yet either. Maybe 15.5. That hasn't, for the second leg, it hasn't fully started. We're getting closer. Oh, the other one was Cosmos. So this is like, I think it's like Chainlink. Cosmos on the daily. Yeah, there you go. Another one. So I've just been working through a list like this. Show me these, crypto that did a nice pullback off of January, and they're retesting support with another pattern. I don't think it should be much different than what we saw here, up there, and now do another one. Go to 11, 12 bucks. Easy. With really the bigger thought of actually finally getting back into some serious recovery mode. That would have to be above 12, but you got a lot of things that have turned around in the last couple of days. Oh, yeah. Okay. Solana. Sure. Been changing my tune back on that. Now it's up at 110. Yeah, we've been going with the bat pattern, this bat pattern at 122.38. And I said last week, this has held up, kind of held the 30-day pause, if you will. There you go. So we were looking at 122 all along, and I said, all right, go into a pause from here, which it did. And I really wanted to see 47 bucks. I mean, it got to what, 79 or so. But that's their 30-day window. So tell me what's going on. Just a reaction, retests up there. If this is really going to blast off, it's again all about the monthly candle. And what that monthly candle should do is close above it. We should be above 125, 130. So Solana's still one of the critical macro crypto, probably top 5, that has to progress as well. Here's your 382 all time. I'd have to say that's pretty strong. All time 382 on Solana is 105. All time 618 to basically get where Bitcoin is would be 162. And if we get a strong close, yeah, that's where it goes. Hey, what's up, Evan? Yeah, I don't, Cardano, I agree with it. Um, but I think there's probably other ones. I think for other things that I'm still holding a lot of stuff, but I'm looking at other things. Like here's Scale, and this was another one with a real nice pattern right off the top. This one looked like it was going to absolutely crush 10 cents. But that's on a nice steady uptrend. I do like Scale. What was I know there was something here. Maybe it was a 4 hour. Oversold with a 4 hour pattern down there. Yes. Right at 7 cents. It's a bat right off the top. So that one, also synthetics. I mentioned that last time. I don't need to get into it. And we know that that's got big patterns right at 360, where it is. So under 360, $3. Absolutely phenomenal. Again, you're playing all of this to get ready for 6 weeks. All right, let's segue. Well, before we segue, I did want to show two total charts. Here's total, main one. Okay. What happened yesterday? So there's 4 hour market cap, 4 hour total market cap, big bat pattern. But this was the interesting thing on the 4 hour chart where there's no confirmation. In fact, you have this crazy bullish reading. That's suggesting this thing wants to go higher now. Now. And that's how we would read it. So take a look at what's going on here on the 4 hour chart as well. I would be looking for this thing to turn up this afternoon. What do we got? We have 2 more hours in this candle. And I don't think we're going to really take this out. Right there, hold the 50 line, maybe test it nominally, and hold. That would put you into a strong spot. So it's really interesting. I mean, the daily on total, it's trying to pop out, but you still are in the overbought as well on amplified. So that needs more time. And then structurally, your weekly is the strongest of all. Crazy, but your weekly is nowhere near giving you an inflection. It went back in. This could end up being another M formation as this goes up. All comes back to critical monthly closes. Here's total 3. Take out Ethereum and Bitcoin. Looks like that. Okay. Beautiful pattern. That pattern on here, amazing. Monthly chart is probably better. And I think that's also something to think about where some of the short-term daily charts look a little overextended, but your monthlies look, really good. And it's not going to take much in the next week for this to be ending up being a lot more. It's a lot like where we are. You go back to October 2020, and we're trying to push up into this overbought zone. You're doing the same thing now. Also, monthly, amplified. This is ideal. This is something we mentioned in that other crypto webinar in January. The complex formation on the monthly bottoms out, starts turning up, and then look what happens. We get above that 50 line. This is just, you're so primed on a T coin run. Think of this as the T coin index. Final one, DeFi. So again, all of these little squat crypto that we have been juggling and really kind of hyper focusing on the last 6 months are now going to start. Now. They're now going to start these bigger moves. And there's a bunch of other, I didn't get to some of those bigger ones, but there are a lot of these opportunities. So spot up the things on daily oversold, 4-hour patterns. Here's, let's segue over to stocks with Coinbase, which, like the rest of them, we talked about this last week. It's all about the monthly for that close. Let's see what happens there, but still a lot of time. This thing, I think, is ready to do the return move. It almost launched yesterday and last week, and we got an HSI on the weekly Friday close. I expect that to be back at 168, 170 really soon. Really soon. So, be aware that this reaction off that crab pattern is over. It's over. It was over officially Friday. Evan's asking, why do they have to be so oversold? Well, listen, think about the rubber band. All right, this is the time where whatever's going to go down in March and April post halving, you want a short-term correction. And that's what January was. That was that short-term little pull the rubber band, get ready to fly. We haven't seen the market move yet. That's my point. Even with stuff like Coinbase, MicroStrategy, those miners, Coinbase is an 886 candidate. Coinbase, my expectation is this thing, which is right now not even at an all-time 382. Your all-time 382 is 185, 180 maybe? Yeah, 185, which I think is probably a good target for this next leg. But all-time 886, 385, you do a full price recovery off of the IPO correction. Of course, we'll step our way, but I'm looking for this next move that started at 127. We get back to 168, maybe size 205 now. And same MicroStrategy, this pattern's going to fail. And it's a big weekly pattern, which is what you want. If you want Bitcoin to skyrocket and play this through with what's going on MicroStrategy, right? What's that? It's a weekly chart. So let's take it next week. Get a continuation. Here we are retesting that top end already. Where, what is it, 710? Sorry, 720. Above that, any close above 720, 730, you're talking for a full-on move to 886. Last cycle move. That's really the bull recovery objective. Yeah, it's like 1175. But it's there. I mean, it's there. So be aware of it. We've seen that. Oh, the other thing is just talking strictly harmonic pattern framework. Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of other crypto and other markets that you could benefit from on this next cycle, but just within harmonic pattern framework perspective, all right, Riot is a perfect example of kind of true reality market. It's not just an automatic hit the numbers and go. It's go through the numbers but consolidate. Finally give you confirmation. Bust through, come back, secondary test, a tertiary test. I mean, that's more of, I think, this kind of steady grind is more indicative of accumulation, consolidation. Definitely recovery here where T1 at 32.79. You're only at 15.48. But that's the objective, and doing it this way is a lot better than a straight up move. I mean, a straight up pop move would be a reaction and likely a rejection. So if you just got something like that, but that popped up in a brief few weeks, it's rarely strong enough to continue. But what you're seeing here, and every time we get back to $10, it's holding. Yeah, once you get that stair step breakout, then you're going to see larger moves. It's going to take time. One other thought, just so we know like how much time, just measure the pattern. Measure this pattern to there. All right, 123 bars, 123 weeks. What's 100? That's on a 1-to-1. If we're just looking at symmetry, 123 is like there. March 25. So you're still going to be 14 months out, 13 months out if we're just expecting a 1-to-1. Same amount of time to do the move as it did to develop. Yeah. But these are the ones to follow. Watch what they do at the critical XA levels. This one's holding. It's a secondary retest. And certainly above 1842, that should set this thing free. A lot going on. I mean, we're right there. We're on the cusp of what I think everyone's been waiting for since a year ago, a year and a half ago. But it just had to go through it. I mean, everyone was looking for the cycle to end, way back here and then go again. And it took 15 months of sideways action, but that's actually better. In my opinion, that's better so that, the bigger the base here, larger potential for a real launching kind of move. Couple more. Let's segue there. Let's look at the Qs quickly. I mean, NASDAQ was down today, but it's not a big deal. 445 is still the hop level on the weekly shark. All right. And again, looking for this just to get contained. I'm not looking for anything crazy, any kind of a pullback. If there is some kind of a pullback, it's going to be a massive opportunity. Take a look. Here's the weekly. Couple of things already oversold, but we don't even have a yellow dot. You need this week, and you need another bearish week before you even get a yellow dot. So if we are not going to hit 445 this week, which it seemed like it would last week, maybe it takes a couple of weeks, but nothing really changes there. And the plan is still the 1618. We're still looking for this thing like this. There you go. Yeah, it's like 500. It's make the run to 490, 500. I think I was saying 510 last time. Doesn't matter. It's, this is still continuing for now. I would need to see, you need to see a couple of months of bearish activity to start it. All the same, again, it keeps on moving. I'll circle back on a couple of those guys. I'll look at CKB in a second, Eddie. No problem. And hey, what's up, Neil? Yeah, I'll look at Hive in a minute. I just want to look at the big ones, though. The obvious, like, just monster meta. Remarkable. I mean, that has to be highest RSI ever. Is it? Yeah. It's the highest amplified and highest HSI reading. I mean, that's crazy. Just crazy. Massive move. And Meta's, again, it's 1618 is like 560. It's up here. There it is. There, yeah, 550. 555. So just massive. I'll tell you what, I don't want to discourage anybody, but I do need to kind of qualify everything that I'm saying here to understand that a lot of this is going to get compressed Part of the reason, obviously, is presidential cycle, but also the amount of money that's going to get kicked in to the economy in general. So just know that we're going to want an exit strategy for a lot of these positions when we get to these targets. They might continue, and a lot of them are going to come out, total champs. Things like, here we got Amazon. Off of that bat pattern could go for a long while. I just think we're going to play catch up to do these breakout moves, or the ones that broke out do the 1618, and then that would be it for in terms of the target for now for the move. A lot of them have run already, but again, we're really in this kind of compressed space where days like today are a BTFD. When they sink, get ready to buy it. Couple more. Remember Airbnb? And here's the other thing, that we had a slew of these top name IPOs in the last, I don't think, 5 years. Not 10 or 20, but last 3 to 5, especially a bunch right before COVID. This is another one, and talk about like IPO recovery. I think this and Uber and a few of those others are well on their way, and even more so, I think this is, having that big pattern. We could easily do something like this for, here you go, for Airbnb, where we're already doing a BAM, bat action magnet move right here, 155. So that's trying to trigger, is it today? It literally today. Like trying to do this type of a thing. And we should go with it. We're getting into that window. I just think February is going to be a little speed bump, and we should be looking for breakouts like this. We should be looking to buy any kind of dips and play it up to these higher numbers. Couple more. Here's AMD. And AMD's is a big shark pattern. All right, with a yellow dot just put in on Friday. Think that's really interesting. Normally I'd be all over this, but with the fact of like Nvidia doing what it's, let's go to Nvidia. I'm not taking any short position on that. If anything, I expect just a pause here. But Nvidia on a day like today is really telling you what's going on. I mean, Nvidia went positive after being, was down early, came all the way back, was positive again. The only question here is it a 3618 or is it a 314? Because your 314 of that 2020 correction move is like 900. Let me blow this up. And this is another one. We've been following this all along. It had some patterns. 885 is the 314, 3618. I mean, it's basically $1,000. So just be aware that this has just got no confirmation value yet, and those extension possibilities, until we get something, you don't be surprised to see that continue. Street Shark, Carney, late as usual. We've been short AMD on that shark at 113. Great. Awesome. It's just a harmonic pause, my friend. Go back to AMD. And literally the confirmation was just Friday. So I don't really like to do stuff without confirmation. But I don't know if I'm late as usual. Am I late? Actually I am late as usual. I'm usually like trying to start at 12:15, but then ends up being like 12:25. Um, yeah, you know what? I don't disagree that things are crazy, but when you got Nvidia and Meta, or you got stuff like this super micro, I'm telling you, it's you get into these environments, that's insanity right there. Okay, insanity. But where's your short on that one? I'm not shorting. You need some serious development on any kind of a short, in my opinion, and seasonality, decennial cycles. I mean, there's a lot of precedent why you're still favoring bullish gas now. But super micro, again, you went from 250 to 800, and that thing can continue. I don't know. You almost have to just trade it down on a 5 minute chart. So, look, the semiconductor sector in general is getting money thrown at it. That's a nice one though. There's a bad pattern, 760. This does remind me of Nasdaq from 1999, where things went crazy and people were piling in. That's what seems like it's happening. A couple of those others though, which ASML, they had a daily. Hold on, it was a 4 hour. Something got oversold. ASML got oversold on a 4 hour basis. Here's Broadcom. And I would be looking at these 4 hour charts on the semis for your next entry for the next leg. So again, I hope those are short dated puts for AMD. Oh, the other one I'm looking at, I mentioned this before. I'm looking for Cisco to do the type 2. Again, another phenomenal entry. You're getting oversold. It would be a type 2 deep crab. So hopefully I'm not late on that one. Be in front of it. Hey, what's up, JT? Yeah, ARM is another one where things are going bonkers. And ARM, I think you see a move like that, doubles overnight or in a week. Very friendly to trade it, but that's all I would say. I mean, you're not looking to do that. There's a 5 minute deep crab, and that's actually a great opportunity. Maybe right there. Confirmation, maybe a little bit lower. HSI is at 118. But that's it should tell you of the kind of environment where we're in, where things are just popping in extreme fashion. So I mean, that was an IPO. What was that? Wasn't that December? September. Yeah, mid-September. Came out at 55, bottomed at 48. And listen, that's another one where it's so strong, we'll get another opportunity. I mean, that talk about IPO recovery. That thing is, looks like the start of a much bigger move where you think, hey, how far can that go? It can go a lot higher. A couple more. Why not look at the SMH? It's another one where you're just looking for weekly, monthly, or maybe you're going to get a dot this week. That's not official until the close. And oh yeah, that's right. This is what's the 1618 here? Is up at like 220. 1618 on this one. 207, 210, something like that. And yeah, the other thing, when you're that close, you'll clip it. Clip it. There's really not much to go on in terms of looking for massive fundamental turnaround in this market until you could get bigger confirmation. Again, that's not, you'd have to wait till Friday on that. So we'll come back on this one. SMH 4 hour. We oversold on the 4 hour yet? No. Getting there. Pretty soon. Maybe Thursday, we start looking at those others, especially like Broadcom, NVIDIA's. That should be a couple of those that should just follow NVIDIA. And so NVIDIA goes to what, 900 or 1,000? Why not? What did you say? Someone said CKB. What was that? Before I lose you on that one. Are you talking crypto or stocks? You got to be talking crypto. Yeah, you're talking crypto because it's mooning. I can't offer anything on that one. You know, weekly price discovery going, yeah. Another 1618 candidate, but can't do anything. Let's get back to the Qs and tech stocks. Tesla, 183 on Tesla, huge number. Weekly HSI, but another situation. It's flashing HSI, not valid until the close Friday. So, still looking for this to go from 183 to 225. But this is why we do confirmation, and that's looking better. It's looking better. Got to get out of that zone by Friday, though. It is in a great spot for a reaction. Also, you're 4 weeks into this test of 180, something like that. So, not a bad spot. But let's get that complete on Friday. I mean, we'll talk about it Thursday. Some of the others that are, I think, just absolutely, they just don't stop. I mean, here's one where it's T-Mobile, and this is interesting, where a lot of them finally gave you confirmation after overshooting hop levels. No doubt, there's a lot of bearish patterns out there that are not confirming. This one might give you a yellow dot Friday, but again, still early. And just look at the trend. Look at the long-term trend. It's just definitely might be a little overextended, but come on. This is not going to stop anytime soon. That trend line for T-Mobile. You know what another one is that's one of the best performing stocks of the last 2-3 decades is Monster Energy. Where'd it go? Here it is. Here's another one. I mean, this is the kind of thought where, and really take it to heart, of when you see something looks like it's a massive pattern and it's overextended, something like this, and it just blows through and gives you a counter trend HSI signal. These are like case studies to remember. How do we spot the pattern failures? Because look, if we're going to play the long side, especially with stuff like crypto about to come, you want bearish patterns that blow through, maybe a little pause, and then give you a counter signal at where it should be resistance. It's saying, no, I'm ready to go again. And so Monster Beverage, it's another one. Long term, a trend is up. You're looking, and then you're just looking for opportunities in the pullback, and I've got one. So here, daily time frame, it's a couple points lower. It's around $51. You were a little lower last week, but it's a big 2 of 2. Retest that bat pattern within this massive uptrend and continue. But it's close. Get in front of it. Get in front of it. Don't be late. Couple more. Let's go to the SPY real quick. I mean, with today, SPY, we're still looking for 560, 494. Thank you, everybody. hold on. Let's not do that. SPY is weekly time frame. There you go. That's still the plan. 1618 is 565. Yeah, 565. So 1 week down after 3 months straight up. That's good. No problem there. Take it to a 4 hour. We're just looking for 4 hour pullbacks because check the trend. And we're about to get another one. You know, this year alone, 1 and 2 and 3. So can we get another one like there, 485, 490? We're oversold on the 4 hour. That's a good thing. It might be tomorrow where then it really turns and you could start to look for next leg higher. This is just a pause at these big numbers. And this hit a big number recently. Like, did it hit the 113? Yeah, it just is a mild rejection. Yeah, it hit the all-time 113. And that all-time 113 was at 495. 113 was 495. Just keep that in mind. So a little pause. Retracement here. That's great. 3-bar range. You could put you as low as 480 on some little short-term pullback. Couple more. Crude oil making its way. Crude oil is going to be, I think it'll play out, but over time. There you go, 78. It doesn't look exciting at all, but there's, you know, the massive patterns and the confirmation. Perfect. I mean, right there. Been that way all along. Here's the daily chart. There you go, bat pattern. So all of that still nice. And then, yeah, the stuff like Apache, Occidental, just going to take time. Oh, let's get the right one. I did notice that FANG. Wanted to show you guys something on that FANG. Diamondback Energy, but Apache, okay, oh, we got a dot yesterday. And you're right at the hop. 29.96 is the hop level. There's confirmation. So first confirmation, yellow dot we've seen right at the hop level. That's, there you go, spot on. Who brought that up? Someone, who brought that up? Don't know. Anyway, all right, that one. A couple of the others. Yeah, Occidental Petroleum, still there. 56 is the number on this. 56, yeah, shark pattern. Not doing much. Weekly, yeah. Pretty obvious level here on the weekly for Oxy. I think this is just going to get bought. I think this just probably gets bought out at 75 or 80 bucks, something like that. Buffett just comes in and buys that. But we've seen that before. You know, I did mention recently that the solar stuff. So there's a whole bunch of patterns in this solar area. A lot of these solar stocks. There's the solar ETF. 10, I think that's a really interesting spot. Right around 40 bucks. It's currently 45. I have a few ideas for my members. But, you know, this stuff's oversold down there. It's just taking a little time to get out of the hole. That's all right. Samit, I don't know what about that, your crypto there. I don't know why you would be nervous if that thing's going up. So, Mike, what's QRTEA. Never heard of that. Liberty Interactive. Is this the John Malone thing? That Liberty Corp? Yeah, I can't do much with that. Great pattern. I mean, if it was a crypto, maybe, but with so many other things going on, why? I mean, definitely why. I just think avoid the low floaters. UNG. Hey, thanks, Daniel. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming. UNG, look, net gas, just a squat. UNG, 15. Did that split again? It split. And there's your, what was it, deep crab, a couple of crabs, and then this split again. Man, this thing, nothing. Nothing. I mean, we took a shot on that like a year ago, and that was back here. That was back here. It was maybe, no, it was a couple years ago. But no, it was here. Like around 35 or something. And we stopped that on that, and that's just been dead. Nat gas dead. Nat gas is dead. I think it's dead. I think you're better with the bigger ones in general. What about CVX? Wasn't this had something on the daily, I think? Not, maybe no. Maybe no. Oh, I did want to show you guys this. So there are certain energy companies that are just rocking it. I mean, massive straight uptrends. This was an interesting one. They bought somebody out, and then the stock rose 10%. Just another great pattern off the top. But look at this uptrend. So this is, this is a different creature than others. This one, and then what was the other? There's another one. Was it AEP? Yeah, American Electric Power. Oh, that was it too. Utilities are, and I mentioned that maybe towards the end of last year, utilities are looking like they're just primed. A lot of them have done a check back or a retest of last year's lows. Here's XLU. Where was that? Where it's 59 currently. There's a weekly. Hold on. There you go. It's a weekly shark. So a lot of utilities, I would get those on the radar because they're setting up to retest last year's lows, and I think it's going to hold. They've been in a slump for like 2 years. XLE is, that's the other one. But no, XLU is this one. So daily dot here. Again, I haven't mentioned this in a little while because they were setting up towards the end of last year. But now I'd be looking at a lot of these. I think that just in terms of time, they're getting ready to kind of confirm some lows off of, yeah, it was October lows on a lot of these. I think it was like Con Ed and a couple other ones. Let me see here. Hold on. But again, looking for stuff that's, setting up now and getting ready to kind of give us confirm major lows. I'll come back on Thursday with some ideas on that. UTSL, what's that? Utility? Yeah, but from whom? UTSL. Oh, that's a directional. Yeah, you know what? That's a nice one, but that's directional, so that has to move. If it doesn't go up, this thing goes down. If it goes sideways, this thing goes down. I would play XLU straight up on utilities. They're not ready, not yet, but pretty soon. Probably when rates start dropping, people will run for the utilities. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, topical JetBlue that had patterns down there. I'm not crazy about airlines, but yeah, look at, and we talked about this. That got a bounce. Look at that type 2 off of that crab pattern on a weekly for JetBlue. So not a bad place. I mean, again, it's tough when you got these situations where, JetBlue's down for 4 years in a row and you're at a perfect type 2 with confirmation. Okay. It's tough. But one thought on this is that if, these stocks are going to get a bid, then what else? What others look good? I know we had patterns on American Airlines. That was pretty big way back when. There you go. So is this going to spread to some other patterns? Yeah. American Airlines somewhere around 12. Maybe. That would be a thought. And a lot of these airlines, when you look at the historic chart, all right, you see this, American Airlines only go back to 2006. These were bailed out. You got to remember that. These were bailed out early 2000s. Like the banks were bailed out a couple of times. So that's what you have to remember here. What was the other one? Delta. A little bit better. Or Southwest Airlines. One of the worst. Oh, who told me about Save? Spirit. There's monthly. There's weekly. Oh yeah, Southwest Airlines right at the hop, 21. That's not bad. Not a bad one there. What about Save? Someone said that was, someone had played that. Told me about that. Maybe it was in the Discord. I don't know. Yeah, now you're seeing why airlines can be a ridiculously, horribly bad investment. You get stuff like that. Just kind of responding to inquiries. So, what about airlines? I'm not a fan. I mean, there's better things to be looking at. One or two more. Yeah, transportations, DJT, ETF. I did mention this. I think we looked at this a couple weeks ago. You need to see the breakout. You need to see utilities. You need to see transports confirm what the industrials are doing. I didn't even look at the industrials. You need to see that thing break out. Here's the, sorry, I'm kind of bouncing around, but I haven't even looked at the diamonds. 1618, still the plan for the diamonds. I just don't think it's, today, yesterday, last week. There you go. 4-hour pause. Can we get another oversold? We're there, almost there. Maybe tomorrow. Again, a lot of times it's easy to get lost when the stuff just kind of cranking every day. Go to the 4-hour. Wait on these 4-hour pullbacks. They look like they're coming every couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, but we're about to get another one on diamonds. UPS, a couple of you guys want to look at UPS, same deal. Down there at 145. There's some patterns there, right? There's a shark. There's a couple of patterns. Shark, back to bat. Right at the hop level. 143.63's confirmation was a little bit lower, like 138. Still okay on that. What's the monthly? Monthly's almost ready to turn around. I think those earnings were just a washout. That's it. Yeah, maybe we'll get a dot. Look right around 140. 145. You're right there. It's a time thing. You're gonna have to wait through the time. Do want to look at biotech, but we're gonna have to save that for next time because there's a lot of biotech setting up. Things like AstraZeneca. These things have been getting beat up recently, but they're coming into some things. Take a look at that. I'll save that for Thursday. Yeah, and let me save BMY is another one. They look at they look pretty good. I'd rather buy something like AstraZeneca than a JetBlue or a Southwest any day of the week, because you go to the weekly. You're on this uptrend, and the uptrends are just going to continue. I don't know why to fight it, especially if the diamonds follow through and the utilities and transports follow through. Then it's fully on. There's nothing you can do about it. For now, continue to ride that tech. Continue to ride crypto. Nothing changed. The story doesn't change at all. If anything, it should be getting more interesting every day going forward. In the next month, we should be starting another leg. Yeah, listen, Evan's asking, like, how do we get on these opportunities? You get them on pullbacks like what we have currently. Or if it's crypto, line up your 4-hour charts, line up 4-hour patterns, and just be buying them on retracements of the uptrend. And until that uptrend's busted, which it'll be a while until that is, you keep playing it. I mean, there's a ton of these. I didn't even talk about Microsoft. I didn't even talk about like Apple, which I think is, a big buy off of the 5.0 down here. Apple will continue. Amazon continues next time. Yeah, I agree with that. Don't get confused. Stick with the setups. Realize that things are going to get away from you. Like, you're not going to participate in everything. There's going to be the Nvidias of the world that just keep going up. And believe me, I wish I had 1,000 Nvidia. But let me find the other ones. I think like stuff like Cisco and some of these other techs that are setting up on 4-hour charts are going to do another leg. Let's get into that on Thursday. All right. Appreciate it. Great session, folks. You have any questions? Again, get over to Harmonic Trader. But until then, I'll be back on Thursday. Appreciate everyone here. Have a great one. As always, go get them. Catch you next time.